So I need a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Need a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, I'd like to discuss it though. We normally don't do that, but it was a good meeting. This is back in December, 6 months ago. But one of the big things, I'm also the real estate commissioner. I've been in real estate for 51 years and been on the commission for 26 years. But the financing that's available through CHFA, which has been great. And I think it's a big plus. Most of all is to make sure that, again, and we discussed this last time, is to make the public aware of the fact of finance is available, whether it's new, whether it's used, whether it's refinancing or whatever. And I see the participant lenders. I don't know if this has grown anymore, but these participant lenders have been around for a while. So I feel confident that they're going to do a good job. Any more discussion regarding that?
No, I think the residents, we need to do outreach in some of the parks as well to let people know about these. I think the word is getting out, and obviously just because of the number of reservations that were there in the minutes. So, but I do think that more outreach can be worked on.
I think also the real estate community, I'm not so sure is aware of it. So I think it's by maybe contacting the boards and also CTR, Connecticut Association of Realtors. I mean, it's a large organization, also should be aware of this. I don't know if CHFA does contact them, making sure they're in the loop. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. No, we
Yeah.
do a lot of outreach events, and I actually did a realtor event last week, actually, for Greater Hartford Board of Realtors, and a lot of realtors were very happy to hear about this program who hadn't already known about it. Many already knew, but those that didn't, they found it to be, quite a powerful niche that you can go up to 100% financing with the CHFA mobile manufacturer program. Obviously, the rate is incredible, no PMI whatsoever. So we do get the word out to realtors as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's terrific. Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's a pass. So, as you can see, there are two sides of this that we've got the park owners or management, and also we've got the tenants. We're kind of we're in need of the park owners. I will be in the process. I think I'm going to contact the ones that were on before and see what we can do to increase their interest in getting back on the console. If somebody has some other ideas about it or no other, yes, Ken.
So I just wonder if it'd be appropriate for Rochelle to actually make a formal request of the homeowner, the park owners, to submit names if they're interested in submitting any names, because I think that's where they're supposed to come from statutorily, and then depending on what the outcome is, if it's appropriate at some point for submissions from other options. I have some ideas, but I don't really want to step on. I want it to work the way the statute's supposed to work. So that's my only comment on it. I think there should be a formal request from the council to ask the Park Owners Association to submit new names.
Are we talking about park owners? Or we need park owners? Our management.
Right.
Okay.
No, I'm specifically talking, the statute says that the Park Owners Association is supposed to submit names for council vacancies to to the council, which will then, correct me if I'm wrong, Rafi, which will then submit them to the appropriate appointing authority in the statute. Depending on whose seat it is, it either goes to the governor or a member of the legislature.
Hmm.
I think that's similar to the real estate commission. If I could be wrong, but that's my understanding of the process. So
Dave, that's not quite right. The statute provides that the Park Owners Association should submit names to the appointing authorities. I think as a courtesy, in the past, they've informed the council of names they were submitting, but the statute doesn't require them to submit names to the council. The submission goes to the appointing authorities. In any event, if it seems to me either if Ben is going to have the conversations, I think that's fine. Or alternatively, if the DCP staff, I guess which would mean Rochelle, were to do that. But I think that since the statute provides for them to be able to create the list of who would be on the council on behalf of park owners, that there should be a definite request from someone to them to provide names, so that it's clear that they've been asked to do so, and then we'll see what happens. It seems to me, Ben, if that's something that you want to assume as being the sort of the official arm of the council for the purpose of asking, I think that's fine. Or if you don't, then someone from staff should do that.
Yeah, I think we need to it's not worth so much about the statute, is the fact is, let's get the interest of people who want to come back, either come back or get on the council. I think this is important. Let's not get bogged down too much. Let's just get them.
Okay, I agree. I think that's fine.
Okay. Everybody understand that?
yes.
Okay. All right. But our vacancy, council vacancy, it's been years since we had a bank industry representative. We don't have a town planner any longer. We don't have a mobile home industry representative. One we needed. We need 3 mobile park owner, 3, and 1 home park tenant or representative tenant. This is what we are that's vacated right now. So look at it. You've got it in front of you. Help out.
So I have a person who's definitely interested in filling the vacancy for a residence position. That was I'm going to be working with him, and he's very interested in participating. So I can do that soon.
Is it from the same park that we currently have somebody?
Is it from the same park that we currently have? Yes, it is.
That's fine, but I would think we should get other members from different parks, because I think he had a different.
Well, maybe okay.
Approach.
I'm not sure I got it right. Dan Billings recently resigned, and I propose to replace him with somebody from his park.
Okay.
So Dan Billings is gone. He's moved to Maine. And the person I'm going to propose was kind of his right-hand man there. So I think maybe is there another vacancy?
No, no, there's just that one.
Okay, so Ben, that would the answer would be that he would be a replacement from the same park, which is Stonegate Manor, which is kind of an important place. It's a big park. That's been they have a very active residents association, and it's in the eastern part of the state, and we try to do, have various, Mike Trolley, who's in the meetings, is from the western part of the state. I'm from the central part of the state. Al's from down on the coast. So we want to try to keep geographic representation as well.
Yeah, that's exactly what we want to do. That's understandable. Okay. Complaints and inspection. I just downloaded it and, I don't know if you can read this. I can't see this. Uh, I'll be honest with you, I think it's got, I have not had a chance to really review it. I think I've got to magnify it a little bit. But, Rochelle, anywhere we can have a different format that we could read?
Yeah, so I unfortunately I don't make the reports, and I just saw that this morning too when I opened it up that it was a little wonky. So I'll reformat that and send it. I can share it now though. Maybe it's a little bit easier to see. I just started trying to trying to fix it up a little bit, so. it's a
So
little bit
the,
more.
okay, that explained the information that was on the last couple of pages goes to the top and next to.
Yes, it should have been.
Okay.
Yeah, it should have all been one line, but somehow it got broken up. So.
Okay,
Maybe we
That
could,
helps.
because we can't. I guess the concern is that anything that jumps out that needs attention immediately, has not been corrected. Or another complaint about the same thing has occurred.
well, I think a lot of them, the new ones, a lot of them are from Rivermead. And those are all going to be similar, I'm pretty sure. The one I had a question on, let me get to my screen, 1 second. Where did it go? Oh boy, what did I do? Okay, MHP report. There was one, it's going to be number 4, where it says see final action from email from legal. And that's from, let's see, number 4 is from Sunnyside in Shelton. Is there anybody here from DCP that can explain what that was about?
There's nobody from legal on right now. The initial CF, I'm assuming that means Cynthia Fernandez. So I can ask her for that information, and I can pass it along once it's received.
Yeah, I'd be interested in, I heard from one person there, but I'm not sure it's the same person, a while ago. So I just want to see what that could be about, if it's the same thing that I do know something about.
Sure, I'll see what I can find out.
Okay, thank you.
I know, the real estate commission also gets a similar, type report. Actually, not as large as this one is. But the main concern that we are is the same problem over and over again. And how can DCP really look into this? And we as a council also would be sensitive to that issue. Is anything we could correct? So those are the main things I think I would look for. Is the same problem over and over again? Is it something that can be corrected?
I don't know if you have any comment on this, but I do think that if you scroll through those complaints from Hartford, it says a lot of them are billing and pricing.
Yeah,
And I don't think DCP has any influence on that, but a lot of it's also related to, if you see there's condition of roads, abandoned units. There are condition issues in there that are consistent, I think, across the board. And there's like 400 homes there, and there's a lot of people who filed, in addition to the DCP complaints, they have ongoing Fair Rent Commission complaints over a lot of these issues. So they're kind of I don't know how that plays into whatever we do, but I just wanted to be aware of that.
Well, obviously we got pages of product. So what can we do? How do we approach this? How can we correct this? We're not DCP. I mean, how can we do this, right? Maybe,
So let me, could I offer a couple comments, Ben?
yeah, sure.
I mean, it seems to me, I mean, I think it's very different for DCP when they have a large number of complaints about the same thing as distinct from one individual makes a complaint about something in particular. And I agree with Dave to the extent that any of these complaints are about like the rent's too high. That's really for a Fair Rent Commission and it's not for DCP. But if, for example, many people say complain about the roads not being fixed or something, I can't quite tell what these complaints are. But if that's the case, then it seems to me that it's useful for us to know from DCP how it is handling group complaints. I mean, they obviously, if they had 100 complaints about essentially the same problem, clearly DCP should be treating it as sort of one group complaint and not as 100. They may have to, for paperwork purposes, file it 100 times, but you don't want to have 100 investigations. You want to have one investigation. And I think it might be useful for us to hear, not today, but to hear from DCP as to how they are. Do they have a plan? Is there a method they're using for doing the grouping? And we might be in a position to offer them some suggestions if it seems like they're not doing it in a way that seems reasonable. If they're doing it in a reasonable way, then it seems to me it's fine. They just do what they're doing. And it may be that there's some ongoing issues like this. This may be something that is going to start coming in more often from parks, where it's more than one individual filing a complaint. So I think that's one role we might be able to play if we understand what the status quo is and what's happening. To the extent, and we've had the ongoing issues with DCP about to what extent can they tell us about a complaint, and the more specificity they are willing to do, then I think the easier it is for us to be helpful. If we don't really understand what the complaint's about, then it's very difficult for us to have anything to say. So I don't know if that's helpful at all, but it certainly alerts us to what the problems are in particular places. I'll tell you one other thing I would add, and this has been a dilemma, that it would make sense, I think, for DCP to take a look at the formatting of the reports that we're getting and try to figure out what is a way that gives us whatever information they're going to provide that gives it to us in a readable format. The format they're using, which I think they did because we asked for format improvements, turns out to be, as you pointed out, so small that it's really hard to read. And some of those things we don't need, and like we don't necessarily need to know some of those columns. There's something that might have like the park license number or something like that. That may not be important for us, but it takes up space. But what's important to us, it seems to me, is what's the park and what's the nature of the complaint and what's the disposition. And maybe someone should take a look at the format of the report in a way that would allow, like, by removing some things, it would allow larger type, for example, to some of the more important things.
I think one of the important factors, which is, if you notice the case of the age, 410 days. Some of these are 319. What is it? Why is it stalled?
Well, that's something that a question DCP. I mean, if the person who's familiar with that is at the meeting, then I mean that's like a question we should be asking right at the meeting. Why are some of these so long? Again, it helps us understand: is it a problem or is it something built? Is this? I mean, again, I don't know what the reason is. But it would help us to know if there's an issue that we should be addressing. Obviously, it shouldn't ordinarily take 300 days to resolve a complaint, but there may be special circumstances that explain it.
Exactly. All right. There's so much in it. It's so hard to read on. So I'm going to actually review, maybe all of us, we have copies of it. Take our time, review these complaints, compare them to the next next meeting to look at. And I don't think we're doing that. We get them the day before the meeting and we look at them quickly. I don't know, we digest them properly.
Well, I don't want to step on a third rail here, but the first one, if you read the issue, it was about electrical cables that were supposed to be buried, and it took them 410 days to resolve it. I think that's a question that should be asked, because I was involved in that, and that to me seemed like a health and safety issue, and I thought that had been resolved long ago. Actually, it says 2/24/26. Okay, so anyways, I don't want to throw rocks at anybody, but that's the kind of thing that I don't think it should have taken that long.
I'm glad it got resolved though. Well, actually, something in reference to that would be, it would be a top priority, I would assume. I don't know if was mechanical reasons why it took so long. I'm not sure.
Well, I think it might have originally come up. I mean, part of the explanation would have, I think it originally came up during the previous, let's see, it came up during the previous winter. So part of it would be explained by that. But I also think it was a long-standing issue that the residents didn't know what to do about it. And finally, I told them to file a DCB complaint, and it got resolved. So it's better.
Anything else? Complaints. So hopefully we'll work on getting this a little more clear, the way at least we can address this and read it. And maybe we'll change that format to make it easier for us.
I agree with that. I agree with that completely. We've been talking about that for a long time.
Yeah, let's do it.
Wait a second before you go on. Some of the situations that exist out there that I've heard of over the years is that they're always running out of enough inspectors or people that go out and review the problems that are reported to them, and then they don't get as much attention as they should because everybody is stretched way too thin. So, maybe a lack of correct amount of inspectors out there is causing some of the problem too.
Let's so is anybody from DCP here regarding this? Discuss this?
Hi, unfortunately, Pam and Janita, they're in a training today, so they weren't able to attend.
Okay, these are the people we should be addressing this to, and they can answer back and say what is the, let's get the other side of the story here too.
Yeah,
what's going on. So we're going to have to discuss that at a later date. Report from CHFA. I don't think nobody's from legals here today, right?
That's correct. It's just me. Unfortunately, sorry guys.
Well, thank you for hanging in there.
Of course. But Brian is here to
Yeah,
give
Brian's
the CHFA report.
Sure. I'll
You're
be
on,
happy to
Brian.
give an update. All right, thank you. So it's been a tad over a year since we revised our mobile manufactured housing program. So it was May 21st of last year where we launched the enhancements where, the new program is 100% financing, which is a huge win. Goes up to $150,000. The borrower can use their own funds above and beyond that to supplement the transaction if need be. It's a 30-year fixed rate, and the rate is 3% as the current program stands. and there's no PMI whatsoever, which is again just a huge hurdle given the the fact that you can do 100% financing, no PMI. Normally you need 20% down in order just to avoid PMI.
Is there,
So it's been. Go ahead. Sorry.
who's the guarantor of this loan? So there's no guarantor?
No,
Otherwise,
the
it's-
state is. We hold the loans. Yeah, it's our loan. We hold it. Yeah.
So you get, okay.
Yeah, but we offer it through 6 different lenders that we work with, and they're all doing great. First World Mortgage and Total Mortgage Services, those are actually our number 1 and number 2 lenders overall. They're multiple locations in Connecticut. Thomaston Savings Bank, which is big in northwest Connecticut. Capital for Change, which was our longtime mobile manufactured housing lender. Chelsea Groton, of course, you guys are very familiar. They're big down in southeast Connecticut. And then Cross Country Mortgage, who has multiple branches kind of in middle Connecticut. But just to kind of give you a comparison, so in the last 12 months that this program's been relaunched, we've had 97 loans purchased for $11.7 million. 2024, that calendar year, we only had 6 mobile manufactured housing loans purchased in the entire year. So the volume has exploded. Yeah.
Does that include refis and purchases?
Correct. Yeah, but it is predominantly purchases. We've seen a couple of refis, but it's been predominantly purchases, which is good. The average loan size, so we go up to 150,000. The average loan size in the last 12 months has been a shade over 120,000. Interestingly, $120,840 has been the average loan size. And then these are some interesting stats. So we have the income limit set where borrowers at or below the area median income, basically what we call 100% area median income. Those are the borrowers that are eligible from an income standpoint. But we're really doing a good job helping those in need. The average area median income for our borrowers in the last 12 months has actually been a shade below 50%. 49.8%, and that shakes out to an average household income of about $65,000. So we're reaching out and helping a lot of people that need it most, which is wonderful to see. In addition to the 97 purchased loans we've had in the last 12 months, we currently have about 40 in the pipeline at various different stages of approval. So, and that's another 4.3 million in the pipeline of those loans. So that's the good news. We do have some adjustments that had to be made though because of the popularity and success of the program. So the original funding source has now been fully utilized, and to ensure the program is sustainable and can continue to be offered in some facet moving forward, the funding's been transitioned, and as of reservations in mid-June, so June 15th and onward, any new reservations, the rate will no longer be 3% fixed. It'll be the lower of our government interest rate minus 1%. So right now that rate with like our FHA VA rate is 6% currently. So as with that new math, that rate would be 5%, be 6% minus 1. So every day we update our rates. So it'll be whatever our government rate is minus 1 or 3%, whichever's higher. I don't think anytime soon we're going to see the market rally to that point, but it's still a very healthy below market rate, and at least we can still continue to get funding to offer the program. So just something to get ahead of. If you know anybody that's currently looking with this program, we did send the update to the lenders this morning, so they're aware and they're going to tell their buyers that are pre-approved. But yeah, the rate will be moving upward from that 3% to, like I said, today as an example, it would be 5%.
Well, Brian, it isn't, I remember the rates used to change on a Thursday. Seems to, this is.
Yeah,
This
you have
is
a good memory.
This is a daily?
We do now. So yeah, the last few years, we actually moved to a daily interest rate. So every day at 9 a.m. exactly, we post the new rates on our website. And that's so we could kind of be more in tune with the bond market and what's going on. But you're right. I've been doing Chaffa since 2009. I used to work for a very large bank in Connecticut before I joined Chaffa. And you're right. They would update the rates once a week back then. So yep, every day now we update the rate. What else can I tell you? So there is some other positive news though. So up until recently, which is a good thing, we've done 100% financing on this program, which is wonderful. But what about those borrowers that might need a little bit more? We recently updated the program to allow up to 105% of the purchase price or appraisal value. assuming that the borrower gets a community subordinate financing, like community second, a community grant. It wouldn't be a CHAFA loan per se, but some towns, municipalities, or other organizations are out there that offer down payment assistance, and they're what we call community subordinate financing loans. We decided, you know what, let's let the mobile. We can do that. We have room in the guidelines to allow for that. So it is possible now that maybe borrowers can find additional sources of funding to supplement this program. Again, they would use this program for 100% financing or 150,000, the maximum, but they could qualify from other sources for an extra 5%, which is kind of cool.
So you
So
would
that's
support,
already in effect.
you would allow a second on this mortgage?
If it's a community second, yeah, has to be an
You would
approved
allow.
community second, yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. And many times, like I said, an example, like a city or a town might have a down payment assistance program, stuff like that.
Would you set the terms of it, or would it have to be the individual town?
The community or the entity, whoever it is, does that. And normally the terms of these, because they're community seconds, are very favorable. So yeah, this isn't like a for-profit lender creating this. It's something designated for low to moderate borrowers, typically, by like a city, let's say.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's that. And I think that's pretty much all of my updates. My colleague Colette couldn't be on the call today. She represents our multifamily division, and she told me she didn't have any updates to share from multifamily, but I work in the home ownership department, those buying homes. And yeah, the program, I'm just thrilled that we still can offer it, granted a different variation of, but still, it's going to be a below market interest rate, the 100% financing, no MI. It's still one of the best things out there for those that are looking to buy. And, like I said, I was excited when I saw the numbers about how we're really reaching those with lower income that need it most. It's healthy to see.
Okay, thank you, Brian,
Well-
for all the good news.
Oh, my
Yeah.
pleasure, guys.
Brian, can I ask a quick question? I don't know
Of
if I'm,
course.
I don't know if I'm going to be using the right terminology, but what is your pull through? I think it's what I'm referring to is how many people that actually apply, what kind of a percentage actually close?
That's a good question. We kind of quickly do numbers here. So we've had 161 total reservations, and we've had 15, let's see, 22 canceled, 24 declined. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know, like a little, somewhere between 1 out of 6 or 1 out of 7 either gets canceled. And the cancel could be anything, right? That could be, just they cancel the transaction midway for whatever the reason. We've only had a couple declined. And as far as the loans producing post-closing, from what I understand, all of them are pretty much producing quite well. We had one unfortunate instance where a borrower passed away after they purchased. But obviously that's just unfortunate circumstances. But people are doing a great job of maintaining their payments, so that's been healthy in terms of just servicing. But in terms of how many kind of fall out of the pipeline, yeah, somewhere between like 1 out of 6 or 1 out of 7. And again, that's a blend of declines. Only 2 have been formally declined by CHFA, and cancellation by the lender. And if it's canceled by the lender, that could be a mix of they didn't qualify or maybe inspections or just change of heart. Yeah.
So
But it
less
has
than,
good pull through.
yeah, less than 20%. So
Yeah.
okay.
Much less than 20%. Yeah. If it's 1 out of 6 or 1 out of 7. Yeah. But thank you. Yeah, so the program is really, really doing well. I'm really pumped because I joined almost 4 years ago. This July will be 4 years for me, and I remember looking at those numbers when I first joined. I'm like, boy, this program looks good on paper, but it really isn't obviously resonating. And I really think that 20% down payment was certainly the biggest hurdle, and certainly payment shock, right? And the fact that we can offer it at a lower rate and no PMI, which is kind of unheard of, that really helps make the program much more viable.
Yeah, it's been a good program. I know a couple of people who've used it. So
Awesome. And
Thank
yeah,
you.
I
Thank
do
you.
a lot of home buyer presentations. I try to spread the word about this program whenever I'm out and about. And realtor presentations, we do the same. We have flyers on our website if anybody wants to go there and download them, or I can put them in the chat here again. But it's an old flyer, though. Maybe I should wait for the new one. But yeah. But like I said, June 15th and onward, we'll have the updated rate. So hopefully people that are pre-approved can hopefully find their place in the next few weeks. Yep.
Thank you for all that, Brian. It's a really good program.
My pleasure,
Thank
Ken. Thank you.
We've come a long ways. We went years looking for CHFA to come up with programs for us. It's nice to see that it's come to a head.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I appreciate that, Ben. Thank you.
Okay, old business. Public education promotion, visit to mobile home parks for 2026. And we discussed that, yeah. What do we
Well,
normally do? We've done what, how many parks have we normally go and visit? Couple parks, one,
Well, I think it didn't happen this year.
the year's not over with yet.
So I don't know. Is there any active plan for that to happen?
Al, you've been around a while. How has that usually happened before?
Yeah.
And
What
it was
parks
kind of like
have you-
asking people to volunteer,
Yeah.
to get people interested. And then it seemed like for quite a while now, it's dropped off. There's been no house on the hill. And as far as getting a commissioner to come out and tour a park or something, it just doesn't seem like that's being pushed at all.
Unfortunately, that's one of the things I think we need the park owners for, Ben.
Yeah, we do.
I think, we can't. I wouldn't want to just have. We obviously we do for the house on the hill, but I don't even want to get into trying to have a vote for the council to just visit one of these parks without the owner's involvement.
Right. Okay.
Well, let me ask you about one thing connected to that, which is the visit to park visits. Has the commissioner, in the past, when a new commissioner would be appointed at DCP, I think there would be an effort made to have the new commissioner visit one or two parks. This is different from having legislators come and visit, but as part of a way of connecting the commissioner to the advisory council a little bit. Has that happened with this commissioner? Or, I mean, because that's something that I think could be done essentially through the residents.
Yeah, I thought that was done. Let's look into that.
Maybe it was, I don't know, but it's because from the point of view of the department, mobile home parks are like one piece of many, many things that the department regulates. And so in the absence of some special outreach being made to the commissioner, my sense is it's all delegated to others at DCP. The commissioner himself doesn't particularly get involved. So this is really a question that Rochelle may know the answer to, which is whether this particular commissioner whether we've ever had the commissioner invited to come, and visit one or two parks.
Not to my knowledge.
I don't know. I mean, that's something that conceivably could happen. I mean, people would have to figure out on an appropriate park and work that out, or not. I'm not pushing that we do this, but I'm just saying that is something that could happen.
I bet I could get my park owner to have the commissioner come out. I don't want to speak for anybody else, but maybe Al can convince him to come out there as part of a visit to a resident-owned community. That's all I can think of off the top of my head.
We may want to hold off a little bit on that till we get maybe some
Okay.
more park owners.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Discuss it some more. and which means getting to a new business discussion of board attendance expectations or whatever. Well, I think the big thing right now is to get more members to come back. Or more members, period. Anything else? Okay. I want to thank all of you for coming, and we've got a few things to do. Thank you again. Meeting's adjourned.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank
Have
you.
a great
Thank
day,
you.
everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Rochelle.